I'm really just trying to make sense of some things that have come to light recently, and for me personally, really, and shit. It's not easy to really do any of this. Fuck. Working on my own little storybook and shit, and fuck. Some life stories are more incredible than others, while you have people running about consuming and doing whatever their own little minds ever well pleased to entertain themselves and distract themselves. Humanity is distracting itself into oblivion. And the politicians and everyone else that actually want power opposed to consumption just say, okay, fuck you, I want everything else. What am I gonna do, huh? Technically, as far as my clan goes, I'm on medical leave, so fuck it. Had a little bit of an instance of Phoenix old age, if you want to call it that. Because if you don't regenerate after a certain period of time, you pretty much end up losing your body. Not only that, but pile that on top of what I've had trouble with when it comes to some instances of exploring a dark dimension I shouldn't have, and well, or should I say, getting tricked into exploring it. Because the being there, or should I say, beings that were trapped there with me, were, well, let's just say, they weren't having a good time of it. Took me a while just to be able to break free of that myself, and typically I wasn't the only one that was strong enough to be able to try to break free of it, because I remember this one being that tried before, and they just got pulled back in, and they didn't have anything else they could do. So, you want to say I've been a dark one, and I've been there? Yeah. Shit, man. I got tricked into doing things that I did not want to do. That's not to say that I still had the desires for it. They actually got twisted into something completely malicious and, well, something that I shouldn't really be saying, but I'm saying it anyway. That I ended up destroying a lot of what I created in a mind, in my own mind, really, and just having it twisted and constantly contorted into something that would be only considered as a nightmare, considerably just keeping me under this being's thumb all the damn time. I can't even call it a being; it's more of a creature, really. A good riddance to it too, because after everyone got freed, the Federation found out what was going on with this dark dimension. They didn't want anywhere near what was going on. So that, I wouldn't say shadow. It was shadow, dark light, that sort of thing. Um, that wouldn't really be the kind of thing that I could say for this specific dark dimension. It's more of It's more of a creature that constantly wants to consume, but is not like chaos completely. Because it wants to keep everything alive so it can continue to consume. In a way, I kind of also see that as a reflection of humanity itself as well. So, there are definitely beings that are much worse than humanity right now. So I know for a fact that we continue to consume and consume and consume, but we create stuff. It's fine and all, but what are we? I keep saying this. What are we creating towards? What are you doing? And what kind of goal would you want me to set? Or should I say? I would actually say fuck it. Right now, fuck it. I'm tired of just sitting in the dark, waiting for shit to happen. Like, I might as well say it and come out with it and be done with it, because fuck it. I mean, I got the way around it. I just ag tech tower. I've been kind of tweaking and fumbling around with my head to see what would work to actually perfect it. I mean, we have the technology. We have a ton of different types of ways to get all the coal and everything else that could just as well be burned off and we'll never see it again. I mean, we have the coal for it. We have, I mean, millions of pounds of this stuff. We're not using it. We can even make solar panels out of charcoal if you refine it down enough. Fire is a stepstone element. That's the only thing that humanity has been able to work with that we actually can understand. I find that very pathetic. Because we haven't even started to actually work with other types of elements before we've started distracting ourselves and putting things up in a more higher priority that, okay, we don't want to listen to you. We can just say fuck you and turn our heads the other way and not look. Do I have that way of life? Maybe a little. I mean, shit. I'm just trying to freaking do what I can to just stay here, find a job, do whatever I can, pull my head out of my ass. Ridiculous. And I keep freaking saying it like, shit. Yeah, you're right. Fine. I get that gold. Well, fuck. I hate waiting. Why does it always have to be that I'm sitting here? I mean, I'm a freaking immortal, and can't I can't be patient enough to get humanity to move forward. For fuck's sake, I could very well be giving humanity the tips it needs to continue moving forward, and okay, maybe I am gonna just say it by the end of this video, but I just gotta have my 2 cents on the matter. I mean, the ag tag tower, that's one solution, but that's only part of the fucking solution. Hunger and thirst. That's the only two things I can think of that really have been a problem. I've seen quite a few people trying to knock the agriculture technologies of this whole thing. I mean, we have what it takes. What excuse is there? Biological technologies. I mean, we have every freaking motive to be able to do it. Monsanto, psh, forget that. Heirloom seeds and all that would be preferable. I mean, all you really need to do is just breed the seeds till they're up and up and up, until you actually have a seed that's perfectly bred and modified without having to genetically modify it. There's a difference between natural modification and, oh, I don't know, fucking up your own immune system. Uh, for all we know, there's a lot of stuff in the water as well. Stupid freaking chemicals that you don't even know about. I don't know the exact name, but in short, it's a cancer-causing chemical that cannot be removed from the water no matter what. Once it's in the water, it will be absorbed by fish, clams, anything and everything that lives in the water. So yeah, we have that problem. Can we find a way to actually solve that problem? Well, um, it's an organic chemical, so. But the thing is, it's been modified to the point where it doesn't, well, dissolve or degrade. I mean, some of these chemicals that pharmaceutical companies use to make artificial, versions of plants and stuff. Whatever happened to traditional medicine, huh? The original form of the plant that has, well, I don't know, all the negative effects still in it, but you can actually counteract with other plants by mixing them into a poultice. That's herbology right there, man. We could grow our own medicines for crying out loud. There's no freaking reason not to. We can grow corn, we can grow trees, we can grow whatever else, as long as we have the space for it. I just cannot persuade humanity to do this. Y'all have to freaking figure it out yourselves. I mean, I consider myself a galactic citizen. I don't consider myself an Earth citizen anymore because, you know what? Humanity has become illegitimate. I've been putting my matters elsewhere, so to speak. Ah. I'm just waiting for humanity to destroy itself now. Just fuck it. If no one listens, what point? To what point, huh? UN, that's not gonna help. As much as it helps to prevent war, it's not helping to prevent the food and hunger crisis that we see. Not just for the homeless, but for people that don't even have water to be able to grow crops or raise cattle. I mean, I've researched the biodome experiments and all that. People don't want to bother with that. People don't want to bother closing an entire building, make that a biodome. No, that's too hard. That costs too money, you say. That has too many. We have to have too many machines and manpower to do it. They say. How about this? You can do it for cheap, you dumbass. Have the people come up over from all the way over from another city or so. Have volunteers that actually want to live in this space. Say, okay, well, you foreclosed this building and it's considered condemned. Well, hey, fuck it. We're gonna gut this entire thing ourselves and then rebuild using all the materials that we scavenge. That's called free cycling. Now the second part of it is bringing in materials that you still need, or trading materials for stuff you still need. I mean, that's just common sense. I mean, a lot of those planks or flooring or walls or something else that would be considered throwaway would be considered shed material for some farmer or someone else out in the boonies. It still works. I've seen people that actually have junk piles out of the front yard that they've actually gotten rid of, and I just want to finally see that there's a shed in the out back, someplace to store their stuff. So why not take a freaking note from your farmers, dumbasses, you stupid city folk? Think for a freaking minute. Why are you not recycling some of your buildings? Jeez. You're destroying what can actually be used. I mean, yeah, sure, consumption, all these other reasonings that, oh, hey, we have to have more fast food chains and blah, 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 this, blah, 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 lawyer, blah, 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 lawsuit, blah, blah, and whatever. Fuck you. I don't give a shit. I really don't. I've grown cold to people like that. Because, as mean as it sounds, you're just fucking yourself over. You're not being the intelligent one. You're not being the people that this star race, that the star race itself doesn't freaking. We just don't give a shit. We just really don't give a shit at this point. Just do whatever you want. I mean, that's coming from my clan. My clan, they could care less what happens to my kind. I mean, sure, they've helped build the bunkers so you can say, okay, well, we're starting to run. We need a place to hide. They're built. Run for the bunkers, stupid. Jeez. That's all I can do at this point for you, unless you're going to come up with something miraculous like I'm trying to tell you. Another thing. Governments. Aside from what we already know, as far as government structure goes, it's just a form of control. Sure, you have your people that are organized, and then they have meetings and stuff like that. But in a way, when you start organizing, you're also forming a government. It's just another form of control. Organization is another form of control. I could probably state how much of our English language pertains to control. But I digress. That would be going into more theology and stuff about history that I really would rant for hours on. The thing is, I've really put enough effort into this that at least I'm making some move towards it. Without with me on medical leave, I mean, my clan's doing whatever they can to try to keep their kind on the right track. It's pretty much it's like a multi-dimensional clan. They have several bases set up in the center of each galaxy and stuff like that. Well, at the center of a major cluster of galaxies, depending. The issue I have though is just that what on earth are you freaking doing? This is what it boils down to. What the hell are you doing right now that makes everyone else so special more than everybody else? It just pisses me off. That selfish freaking attitude that puts everybody else above others. And yeah, sure. I'm making my own little banter about wanting to be all of faith and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, I really get that I want to be of faith, but how can I have faith in something that I can't understand fully anymore? I lack of faith in humanity now. Humankind is always gonna change their opinion eventually. I mean, first it was Gandhi, like, yes, you're the most high and cherished person of our kind, blah blah blah. Yeah, I get what he was after, but I know what Gandhi's teachings and all that is like, but it's the character that really makes up a person that defines them sometimes, and versus what they actually do teach. I constantly weigh that, like Anubis would weigh your very actions against the feather of truth. You're not gonna have a chance if you've done something wrong. The feather will be a lot lighter. Something that just varies in weight because it's the one that judges everything. It's unbiased. It knows what you've done for your kind versus what you've done against your kind. Now, the last thing I have as far as solutions go, grow up. I mean, come on, humanity. You've been acting like a freaking teenager for too damn long. You're dabbling with freaking plants that you know very well should be used for medicine. That you're using for recreational use. You're messing around with stuff that's gone completely out of the ballpark, and yet you're not trying to fetch that ball and see where it went. I mean, really, just grow up. Seriously, humanity, grow up.